going on, LFA TV? This is your boy Luis, and as always, thanks for tuning in to another episode. It's been a long time coming. I know summertime here in Arizona has been bitch, if you know what I mean. Very hot, but as you guys might have read the title to this video, yes, this is the last video when it comes to wiring, because we have officially finished the wiring on my Supra. Now today is currently October 4th 2021. Supra's in Vegas starts October 6th 2021, so we're 2 days away from Supra's in Vegas. Unfortunately, I gotta admit to say that my car is not going. Yes, it's very sad, but I will be documenting the whole trip. Supra's in Vegas. I will be covering the events at Supra's in Vegas, so I hope you guys are tuning in. And if, for those of you that are new to the channel, please consider subscribing because I have a lot more content to come. Now, let's get into this video. This video is the closure or conclusion to the wiring of my Mark III Supra with this built 7M GTE. Keep in mind, I did not record a lot of the process and crimping and stuff like that because these are things that I have done in previous videos, and if you guys want to check those out, just go to the channel and follow along. But enough talking, let's get into this long awaited video. I'm making it long for you guys, so if you guys have any questions, as always, please comment down below. Consider subscribing. Hit this video, give it a thumbs up, and welcome to the channel for those of you that are new. So let's get into it. Hey! Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Thanks for sticking around after so long of no uploads. Yes, I know summer is long here in Arizona, and boost season is actually our winter time, because our summertime, no go. It's too darn hot here. Really quick, I honestly, I apologize for not uploading in so long. I'm not gonna lie to you, I lost a lot of motivation. It was so darn hot in the garage. Right now it's still hot. It's like 105 today. It just kills all motivation, kills all drive, and I honestly was lazy. Today I actually was trying to work on the Supra for a little bit. As you guys can see, I got the turbo housing off, and that's because I gotta drill this hole out right here for my boost solenoid. So there's a vacuum line that has to go from here to the boost solenoid, which is gonna go somewhere over there. I already took off the harness, I took off my intake manifold, and one thing is because the garage is too darn hot and I cannot work on it in the garage. It honestly is too hot. So I took off the harness, I have it inside the house, and I'm gonna go ahead and work on it and try to finish it inside. Alright guys, so I got that routed, teed off to the turbo right here. Everything runs on the side, away from any type of heat. Both of those lines running down to the wastegate. And the good thing is that I made a little bracket for it. So everything is away from the heat, so none of the lines run close to anywhere where they're gonna crack and break or anything like that. So that's good to go. On to the next thing. Alright guys, so now I'm pretty much working on my harness. One thing that I'm gonna show you guys is that this big old diagram here, I'm using a weather pack to add 1K pull-up resistors. I'm adding 1K pull-up resistors to my cam and crank triggers. Now, one thing that I am going to say is that I am having to do this because I am using ECU Master Classic. I would highly suggest, if you guys don't want to go through all this trouble, save a couple more bucks and go with ECU Master Black. That's because the ECU has internal pickup resistors, and you would avoid having to do all of this. So this is a lesson learned. For future reference, I am definitely gonna go ahead and save a little bit more bucks, a little bit more change, and go with ECU Master Black instead of ECU Master Classic. Way better features and less work. Alright guys, so I know this looks a little bit messy, but there's a couple of things that I am going to explain. Now there's a lot of sensor grounds, chassis grounds, and 5-volt supplies that need to go to the harness. So for example, here we have my red wires. These are 5-volt supplies. For example, right here, these are 5-volt supplies. These black ones right here are my sensor grounds that are going to be supplied by the ECU. 5-volt supply is going to be supplied by the ECU. Same thing for these. Now there's a couple that I got to do chassis ground, and that's for my insulated, I forget, insulated, whatever you guys want to say, for my cam and crank. So there's a few wires that I got to bridge together to make to one. So in order to make that look a lot cleaner, I went ahead and I bought one of these boards here, or fuse, I forget the exact term of these, but basically what I am going to do, I'm gonna run one wire that supplies the 5-volt and connect it to one of these right here. My chassis ground, or my sensor ground, I'm gonna apply to another one, and then my 12-volt supply is gonna be applied to another one too. So instead of making a lot of ugly bridging outside, I'm gonna connect them all in here and then just cover this up and make this look a lot cleaner. Alright guys, so I got everything pretty much waiting just to be pinned to the ECU. I have mostly everything set up under there. As you guys can see here, I'm still running the between the 2001 to 2008 Hyundai Elantra electric fans. These are the ones that I ran last time it was up and running, so I'm still gonna run these. I did not have a problem with those. As you can see here, I have my old alternator, which is pretty much brand new because I bought it, and it probably has 1,000 miles on it. But I went ahead and upgraded to the Drift Motion. I think it's a 150 amp alternator, so it's just upgraded amperage. I figured I'd do that, might as well while I was at it. So I got my relocation bracket down there. I'm gonna go ahead and mount this up. I got my relays that are gonna be mounted right here, and I am getting ready to rewire my relays with brand new wiring. That way the ECU can control when the fans come on. So that's pretty much the last bit of wiring that I gotta route and finish everything up. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got my alternator mounted up. I got my belt on, it's tying down, has tension on it. Now I gotta focus on the leads for my fans. Now as you can see here, I have made a lead for my fans. Now this on the other side, it has two leads. So basically one is going to be the 12-volt supply for one relay, the other one's going to be the other 12-volt supply for the other relay. And then they're both going to be controlled by the same aux input on the ECU. So I'm going to go ahead and start wiring those up with the pins and finish it up. So you guys can see I have my fan harness here, everything ready to go. I am gonna be getting the power source from the alternator. So this one is gonna be connected to the big stud on that. So it's gonna get my 12-volt source from there. From there, my relays are gonna control, make sure it's a switched 12-volt supply. So when the white harness here triggers the ground from the ECU, is going to trigger the switch 12-volt to kick on, and I'm going to have them at a certain temperature, so both fans are going to be controlled at the same time. As you guys can see here, got my harness set up there, my harness set up here. So yeah, this is done. One more thing that's done, guys. We are moving along. Alright guys, so I do have my glove box right there. Keep in mind, I am going to have to modify it a little bit in order to fit everything that I have under here. So I could show you guys. But for the time being, I have it off so I could show you guys, one, the mess that I have right here. And two, my relay board. The relay board is what's going to be shown whenever you open the glove box. So this is a lot neater than everything else. But as you guys can see here, I got 3 main relays. I could have used just 2. I could have put the ECU coils and injectors all on one relay, but I decided to have them on their own relays. And then I have my starter relay, and that's it. Keep in mind, in the back of the trunk, I have a relay also for my fuel pump. And then in the front, I have a relay for my fans, and that is right there. So that's going to be controlling both of my fans up here. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people were asking me questions about it. First of all, I'm going to show you guys this setup that I have here. So this is a bus bar that I have. For example, I have a couple of things running to here, and I have them labeled as is. So I have a 5-volt supply from the ECU and sensor grounds from the ECU, and I have those on a separate bus bar. So in the future, if I ever need to add any sensors that require a 5-volt supply, I could just go ahead and unbolt it right here and crimp and add any sensors that require a 5-volt supply. So I thought that was a neat way to do that, just to kind of clean things up a bit. And also here I have my sensor grounds. So I have one lead from the ECU that's a sensor ground that goes down to that bus bar, and then all the other sensors that require a sensor ground go out this way, and the same thing for my 5-volt supply. Another thing that you guys were asking me was, so I have a pre-89 Supra. So there's 2 harnesses that I had to use for the ECU to work. So give you guys a little bit of light here. So this harness right here has both wires for my reverse lights. So I have my reverse lights right here. These are my reverse lights. I have my check engine light and my dash temp, and also my chassis ground for the dash temp, and if I believe correctly, my check engine light wire right here. Another plug that I used is this main one right here for the yellow plug, and these 2 are my switch 12-volt for my starter, and or my ignition switch 12-volt, and my starter 12-volt. So those all go down into the bottom bus bar right here. And I know it's kind of hard to explain, and it might be kind of confusing for some folks, but this is all stuff that I had to learn, and trust me, it takes a lot of time, a lot of reading, and a lot of help from folks who have done it before. Like I said, I was going to be doing a lot of talking in this video, and excuse the crickets in the background, but there's a lot of crickets right now. But anyways, I have my injectors, coils, and ECU, and my starter. And basically I have my main power supplied from the back, which my battery is relocated in the back, and that powers up this fuse box right here, and it allows the power to go from my relays. Now the main ignition switch that triggers that is that main one up here. Once again, guys, further down the line in the future, I am willing to do like a Q&A video explaining exactly what I did, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a brief explanation of everything that I had to do. The ECU is completely wired up and ready to go, but as you guys can see, that's what everything's gonna look like. Just to clean things up a bit, you know, I just go ahead and cover this up just like that, and it's all good to go. Give it a nice clean look, and this is gonna be sitting inside the glove box. So for my glove box, it looks like I am gonna have to mod this up a bit in order to have the wires running through here and have the actual board sit in here flush so everything could fit. I did measure from the back to up to here for that to sit flush, so hopefully everything sits nicely and would look a lot cleaner. So as far as the engine bay goes, guys, everything is completely done. The only thing that I do not have currently is a oil temperature sensor, and that's because I still have a OEM what's it called, an OEM housing for my oil filter. So I plan on upgrading to a sandwich plate and down the line that has a oil temp sensor, and that's one of the good things that I showed you guys, that that bus bar that I have right there, that one right there. For that same reason, I could add sensor grounds in the future if I ever need to do that. But as far as the engine bay goes, guys, everything as far as wiring is ready to go. Starter's all wired up, everything is wired up, so everything is good to go as far as wiring. The next step, the next video that you guys will be seeing, is going to be me installing my intake manifold, installing all my charge piping, and hopefully we could hopefully install a base map and maybe crank this puppy up and see if she'll start. So like I said, guys, I apologize for those of you that have been following me for a long time and I have not uploaded in forever. In the past couple of days I've been killing it. I've been working on the Supra and I don't plan to stop until it actually is done. So trust me, the next video is going to come very, very soon. I have a couple of days of vacation time, and I do plan on finishing this up and trying to get it started. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am going to Supras in Vegas, which is this Thursday. I'm leaving Thursday, October 6th, to maybe get to Vegas international race, or the speedway, I think. Vegas Speedway. So I'll be arriving and I will start documenting and recording the event at the drag strip. But for those of you that are going and you guys have been following along, I'm gonna have a couple LFA TV shirts, so keep on the lookout for me. I will be recording, documenting the whole Supras in Vegas event. I might take a couple of shirts with the logo that you guys have seen before. I'll put it up on the screen right now. This is what that looks like. Maybe I have like 1 or 2 shirts available. If you guys want to come by and stop me and be like, hey man, you got a shirt? But other than that, guys, please stay tuned because we're getting this thing on the road, I promise. So other than that, if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Let me know. I know this video was a lot of talking, but I'm just so excited to be back. I'm super excited to be back, and the fact that the wiring is actually finally done on this thing, I know I didn't go too much into detail on what exactly I did, but it's a lot of stuff that I've done in previous videos. If you guys have more questions, please comment down below and I will give any knowledge that has been passed down to me. I want to give a huge shout out to Cody. Cody, you know who you are. You've been helping me a lot with the wiring, and I know I have annoyed you with probably hundreds of questions, but honestly, if it wasn't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to do this by myself. So I thank you very much. Other than that, anybody else who has helped me on the build, thank you. I appreciate you guys all. And as always, thanks for watching. On to the next one, guys. See you in Supras in Vegas. Let's go!